Hola amigos, estamos aquí hoy día con Kim Jones, la fundadora de Fashion for Freedom, que apoya los esfuerzos en contra del tráfico humano para las mujeres, crea refugios, lugares de reposo, lugares de restauración para que sanen y para que aprendan a valerse por sí mismas en esta vida después de pasar un pasado difícil. Kim, it is just such an honor to speak with you today, and what you're doing is just so very powerful. Founding Fashion for Freedom, taking something that women get to step into every day, that just it makes us feel beautiful, it makes us feel inspired. How you have allowed this beautiful art of fashion and fashion design to be able to bring support to women who have gone through just terrible, awful pasts, and that are actually, you know, being refuged and rescued from human trafficking. Speak to us a little bit about what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. When I started Fashion for Freedom, one of the things that I immediately was struck by was that the idea of what a designer does with garments, making them so beautiful, was such a reflection of the work that we do in Cebu at My Refuge House on the ground. And I see designers a lot of times will see, you know, the fabric that I think most of us would think is a discarded piece of fabric, but a designer sees something that is so possible, so beautiful, and they take it and they make it into something that just is empowering, right? Is beautiful, and we're struck by. And for me, it's very similar to the work that we do at My Refuge House. I think a lot of times when people think of girls, women, children that have been affected by this issue, we sometimes think, oh, you know, how can they be helped? What can happen? You know, how can their lives be turned around? And in such a very similar way as the designer looking at that piece of fabric, we see our girls in very similar ways, is that they are not discarded, that there is so much beauty waiting to be flourished, to be bloomed. We just love our girls, and we see all of the possibilities that what the world has seen and has done to them actually can be turned into something really very beautiful and remarkable.
Absolutely. What is the main age, if you have to give an average of the age of these girls that are being rescued?
When I first started 9 years ago, our average age was between 13 and 14. Our average age now is 9 and 10. So because of online sexual exploitation of children, it has actually made our ages go lower, and so we've had to adapt, and we've had to really think about the way that we provide aftercare, and so for us, it's really looking at every child that comes through our door and seeing them as an individual, and seeing how can we as an organization meet their needs? How can we fully prepare them to be reintegrated out into the world and become everything that they were made to be?
Thank you so much for doing what you're doing for them. It is so very interesting. And how do you equip them to get on with their lives afterwards? What kinds of things are we teaching them?
We obviously provide education, because that's first and foremost. We know that when a girl is educated, she not only changes her life, she changes her family's life, she changes her community, right? So education is at the top of our priorities. In addition to that, we also offer therapeutic services, whatever that might look like. We have a prayer garden. We do a lot of spiritual direction with them in a lot of ways. Play is also so at the heart of what we do with our girls. We just built a new playground. It's so fun to see them swing, because play therapy is essential to their restoration. And it's also a family environment. We help them to just really see what it looks like to live and be situated in a loving environment that helps to prepare them and pushes them out into the world in such a healed and a restored way. Other things that we do is a lot of our girls have gone on to university, which is exciting for us. In addition to that, we also provide training in different work areas.
Amazing. I want to thank you for answering the call. This really is a calling. And how did it all begin in your heart anyway?
For me, working in this area started probably about 14 years ago. It started locally in Dallas, Texas, but then from there, somebody asked me to go to Southeast Asia, and I visited Cambodia, Thailand, and the Philippines. And from that point on, I realized that I actually have a responsibility. I live in Texas, but I also have a responsibility to other people on the other side of the world. And that opportunity to basically give voice, to bear witness to their stories and to amplify their stories. These are beautiful stories of restoration, and as you said, they are receiving the refuge and the care that they so desire.
Thank you so much again. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for allowing this beautiful art of fashion to be able to support such an adequate cause of strengthening and healing and restoring and uplifting and inspiring girls.
So
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.